Hello and welcome. Welcome to this ceremony, this energy work related to the full moon updates and the possibilities that these opens to. Together we open an energy, a strong, enhanced energy where we together gather in a mutual field of light and love that I have worked with since 2011 and have been used in group since 2012. The update and the energy work we gather in under the full moon is both related to a part where we open to a field of light and love, and in this field of light and love we can put in a list of people and places that we would like to give love and light. It's really important to know that we are never crossing the lines of integrity. So only if people have said yes, or if this is areas where you are in charge, the energy work will be like healings. If people haven't agreed upon receiving the energy, it will be more like a smile or a ray of light that enters into the light and life, and then they agree upon how they will receive this. So there's different degrees of the way the energy work supports, related to if the receiver had agreed upon the receiving. Okay. So you can join in this energy work, receiving the updates in 3 different levels. You can enter as a participant in the energy work. You can enter in the space where you participate in creating surplus energies, or you can be somebody who's receiving the support and being a part of it in that way. If you are an active energy worker, you will be a part of the generation of the surplus energy as well, and you will receive. And are you a part of the group where you will generate the surplus energy, you will receive as well. Let's just use a couple of minutes to give you the possibility to find me. Hello and welcome here. Hey, nice to see you. My name is Marianne Lane. I'm a Danish energy worker, so I hope you bear with me and my pronunciation. I practice. So still, when I'm opening into the international lines using the English language, most of my support still come from my Danish crowd. So nice to see you here. Okay. And I have just had the circle under the full moon in Danish, and we will ride upon the waves of this energy work. So by that we will enhance it, and we will reuse it here, and we'll do the same with other groups that attend in the same levels as we do. Us as human, we do not participate in a way where we discuss how we agree or how we work in the same realms, on the same lines. Something else ensures that these agreements is held. So we just enter here And use our intention to step in, and you choose how you would like to attend, as a participant in the energy work, as a part of the generation of the surplus energy, or as somebody who will participate by receiving healing. And you can join in here live, or you can use the video, the replay afterwards. And in the replay, you can use this first part where you can bring in lists of people and places. 4 days after the full moon is just as strong as under the full moon, and then it will diminish through time. The second part of the energy work, that's energy work for Earth and for ourselves, it works as long as the video exists. Okay, we are ready. The energy opens. If you participate as energy worker, it's a good idea to put yourself in a place in a way where you sense you have solid ground, you are well placed. Even if you sit down, lay down, or standing. If you experience the pressure in any way, you can kind of try to put the pressure in a way where it's equally distributed in your system. I often use the picture of holding a bucket of water on my head, balancing it. And this supports me in balancing the energy in the field. The energy is strong and we're ready here. So if you want to use this possibility to bring in people or places, you can imagine that you have a list where you can see the persons, the people, and the persons and the places, or you can see it as them standing in line and being in a space, and then you put this list of the space in the field of love and light that we have opened here. So we'll just do this, and I will bring in my own list with people I care for and also like areas I care for. So I'll put in a list with children from everywhere. Soft, deep breathing, like creating a sigh deliberately. Support your system in following the energy. And to say to yourself there's an endless amount of energy in the universe is sometimes a good idea when we work with so strong, enhanced energies, because sometimes our system could imagine that, oh, this is my energy I'm using, it's too much. And then if you ensure yourself there's always an endless amount of energy in the universe, and you will experience a release, something is softening up, then this is due to the fact that your system thought that you was using your own energy, but you're not. Only a small amount. The sense of being at service, at work, in a way where you use your energy is actually the work that you're doing. So you're not using your energy for the energy work, but you will using energy doing the work. Like if you're practicing fitness or dancing, then you will use yourself. It will be your own energy you use to yourself, not somebody else's energy. And this is the same. So you'll use your own energy for the work, but the energy used for the work is created and a surplus energy that we use. The energy gets stronger, and the lists with the persons, the places begins to be released. And when darkness is released, light being will be present in the area and being restoring the energy to a balanced level. And the the light being, the earth angels that's related to these different kind of energies, they will step into the areas. Often if there's a lot of heavy dark energy, they will leave the areas. And when we support the areas in being released, then they will re-enter and begin to do their work about ensuring balance in the energies all the way around in the areas. Beautiful. And I invite you to put somebody in that you know, and if they agree upon receiving, it's even better. Then you can have a word with them if they recognize a difference, if you recognize a difference. It's really important when we do such strange things as doing energy work that we'll have some kind of recognition that there's a shift. We can't ensure with anything that we can measure, that we can prove that something is happening, but collecting a lot of different experiences can create your proof. Not the proof, not a proof, but your proof. And this is a healthy foundation, like a footstep for you to be an energy worker. That ensures that you're not working with something that you have to believe in without your own experiences. So the collection of the experience is really important. There's an endless amount of energy in the universe. By saying this and then experience that something is releasing, this will mean that my energy system thought that I was using my own energy, and I'm not. I'm using my energy for the work, but the endless amount of energy that's at work is not mine. But being so close to this, often our system can believe that this is my energy, and then will release a bit to take care. But it's not. So if you say there's an endless amount of energy in the universe, as you're doing the energy work and you experience a release, then this is because your system for a short while thought that you were using your own energy. And that would not be a good idea with such strong energies. More and more on the lists begins to adjust. So these lists with persons and places that we like to give love and light, the darkness has been lifted to higher frequencies. The light being has entered and supports the balancing of the energies in an environment. If the persons has agreed upon receiving, a healing will be performed by the light beings. If it's spaces, if it's places, it's earth angels. If it's persons, it's often their guides, their keepers, their helpers that can get closer to them and reach deeper and higher with the support. Soft, deep breathing. Sense if any tensions or any pressure, if you can distribute it equally in the system, then you will have the best position to do the energy work in the field that we are doing together. At work, at service. Okay, more and more of the lists has been completely released. The huger lists still works a bit, having chain reactions through and all over the world. And the light fields of other light workers joins in the huge lists because we are working at the same processes and with the same purposes. Then automatically, if one of us is working in the field with the same purpose, then the others joins in. This is technically something that's happening in higher realms that we as human beings, we don't understand. And we can't balance this yet. Our egos will be like disgusting, even being sometimes too polite. Oh, no, you do it. No, you do it. No, you are it. No, you are the one. And then the energy will be diluted and be not as strong. So for us to believe that we are the ones who's doing this, it gives us the best position to do the better work. But at higher levels, each and every groups perform together. This is ensured by something that is handling this distribution much better than we can yet. We are working on it as humans, as beings on this earth. We're working on gathering in to live together. And the work we will do, the work on the mutual field, the mutual conscious field on earth today, will be a contribution to the gathering of all the fields of consciousness present on earth. The old, the ancient ones, and the new, fresh ones, and the middle ones as well. That each and every one of them, we will support them in joining in the togetherness that is the movement in the energies that's present right now, no matter what. In our everyday life, this opens to a new perspective of seeing other people and seeing ourselves in new light. It's more easy to understand why people do as they do, and at the same time to stand your ground and not being dragged around. So at the same time, it seems like being more soft, but also being more strong and holding the edge. The boundary is really strong, but at the same time being alive and communicating about it. So if you recognize this is what's going on in the huge fields, and it's always present in each and every one of us, and we are actually the generator, we are the initiators for what's going on in the huge fields. So only if human beings is available to do this, capable of doing this, then it will be available for something that can be happen in the huge fields. So if you walk around in your everyday life and begins to have this access, not all the time, but now and then, to be more firm, standing your ground, being more soft at the same time, recognizing why but still being able to communicate what's right, then you're working with what's going on in the future field and you support it. The more you're aligned with yourself, the stronger your support will be present in the future fields. Together we will gather in these days. The 9-9 is about the closure and the opening, the closure and the opening at the same time. It's gathering. And then in this span, the merging of the huge fields has a possibility. Okay. The list seems to be completed. Still a lot of light being enters in this area and gathers around these persons, these people, and supports them. But our part of the work somehow seems to be done for now. And if you later on suddenly remember, oh, I would like to put in this person, this area, then you can just use the video for the next 4 days. And then on the next full moon, you'll open again. And then you can create your list and we gather and we do the energy work and the update again. And as we finish the first part, again, you can choose if you want to be joining in the energy work as an energy worker, as the creator of the surplus energy, or as the one who's receiving the healing. The energy worker is a part of each three of them. If you are included in the generation of the surplus energy, you will receive healing as well. We are gathering here into the energy work and opened as well together with the other groups on Earth that has the same purpose, the same goals, the same lines we're working at. And the 9-9 portal is a portal that ends the old era and opens completely the new era. The new era is an era of the magic and the heart. The new era is a possibility for the conscious human being to appear on Earth. And the energy work we do here supports this. Kind of generates, you could say, greenhouses for human consciousness, and supports the updates of the greenhouses of the human consciousness on Earth. So we will be a part of this today. And when you're joining in this kind of energy work, your update for your greenhouse, that will be your energetic field of consciousness. The spheric field for 7D will be supported and be updated the way that suits you the best where you are at right now. We have different waves that we're related to in this opening days. So you will be connected to the wave that suits you the best in this energy work, no matter what it is. Okay. Soft, deep breathing, maybe stretch a bit. Let your body decide how it wants to carry itself. Find your way of being placed, and then we shift the energy from the field of light and love. And this is still present, this is the base, this is the foundation for all we do. But now we add in a lot of different energy work that I have been performing since 2012 and gatherings with other energy workers that I met for real. The Sufi master, the shaman from New Zealand, and from Sweden, from Norway, a lot of different places. And then there's the masters that I've met in the layers, in the realities that's not physically present here in our reality. I've met them in a lot of spaces and places as well, and have been taught a lot and work with them about creating these possibilities for energetic work with stabilization, update of the consciousness greenhouse for human being on Earth. And they are gathering in with us here. And maybe you can sense a change that it brings. I do, for sure. Sense a change in energy, that it's enhanced. And it's kind of getting more serious. And it's funny, because a lot of people who's related to spirituality, they talk about the Sirius, like the star area, and that there's the soul connection through this area, that you will find a civilization in this area of the universe that we are related to. So when I say it's getting more serious, I meant it was getting more, more strength, more clearing, more direction, more focus, open to more discipline, like that kind of serious. But the fun thing is that it's also getting more serious, So we are connected to our star brothers and star sisters, not only in the serious area, but also in the others, the rest of the incarnational programs that we are related to. And there will be 12 lines, 12 program, 12 lines of incarnational programs that we are related to here on Earth. And every one of them is present right now, represented through a representative that is incarnated as souls and with souls on Earth right now. So we have a lot of really odd constellations here because we're in this shift. And each and every one of these constellations is activated right now, and we will be connected to them. 12 huge spirals with a lot of different incarnational programs is centered here on Earth and is opening now. So let's just joining in, and it will support us in our personal update when we are joining into the work with this update. And we will get a release, a huge massage of our energetic system. All the tension will be released. We will have a refreshment of all of our energy in the system. It will be renewed during the energy work. So a lot of good things comes to us, and the energy work is insured. It's secured through the field. So each and everyone who participate will only participate with the energy work that suits you the best and that you participate with in the best way. All around the globe, I see the huge portals opens. I didn't suspect this. When I'm surprised, I know for sure that this is not something that my mind is creating. I'm never surprised of something my mind creating. So it's showing itself like this, I know. This is my sign that it's not me. A huge portals opens. A new kind of update. I've seen that this will happen sometimes, but I didn't know that it was today. I see codes. beautiful, beautiful codes that enters through the huge cosmic portals. And in the middle of each of the huge cosmic portals, I see a crystal skull. The crystal skulls is related to ancient masters that have brought in their mastery. And they are all gathered through the mother crystal skull that is related to the mother of all, the feminine aspects of wisdom. And the mother skull, crystal skull, I see it in the middle of the core of the earth. What is going on? The energy gets stronger. We are at work here, together with all the others in the other groups. The mother crystal skull in the middle of Mother Earth is glowing and growing. And all the crystal skulls in the middle of the portals, they begin to shine with bright light. And the codes is entering into the spheres of Earth. And it's really beautiful. And it's time. Now different pyramids opens. They are translators. Through the pyramids, a grid appears, a translator grid, and all the codes begins to align with the grid from the pyramids. And arrange the codes to fit with the human consciousness in this reality. Translation and the purification. And the codes comes from the different portals, so they are from different civilizations throughout the universe, from different times, from different evolutionary steps for the soul. I haven't seen this before, but bits and pieces I have. Each piece of this I've met before, I know what it is, but this is new. Breathe. Then I recognize my spine is opening. And I know what it means. It's an update. And this is a really fine update. This is an update that supports you to step into the new era consciousness state. It's a possibility for every human being right now, but the people who's choosing it from the beginning, they will support this possibility in a way that it's easily distributed to everybody else. So by you stepping in and making the choice, using your intention to say yes to that update, then you create the first light that creates the cascades throughout the mutual field of consciousness on Earth. And we are not the only ones here. The other groups that's joining in as well, there's a lot of them on Earth. And some of them I actually recognize who they are. And a lot of them, I've never met them. I don't know who they are. But something, the I that we work with, know and ensures that how we work is so balanced and so synchrone that we support each other in ways that we do not understand with our human brains. Now the crystal skulls begins to emerge toward each other. The ones with the bright light in the center of each of the spirals, the huge 12 spirals. And the mother crystal skull is huge and glowing. And in the middle of it, the father crystal skull appears. I've never seen this before. It's beautiful and moving. And again, the 3D brain can't comprehend how can these huge portals all over the world, how can they emerge into being one and still be placed in their own space all over the world. But they can in this realms, in the unified realms, this is possible. And the fine lines, the grid created by the pyramids, they are nearly completed with the codes. And it's like when all the portals are completely aligned, all the crystal skulls is unified, then the codes will be aligned with the codes in our DNA remembrance fields. The memory field, the remember field, related to the DNA consciousness, is in the area in the space that surrounds the DNA. In this space, the memory is carried, and the codes that will be updated in the memory field of the DNA is supportive and fits us so well that it will be like a pronounced enhanced coding of what we are already now in an unbelievable balanced way. The crystal skulls aligns, and the father crystal in the father crystal skull in the mother crystal skull is aligned as well. And it's like it's just standing there a while. It's like a test, or like it waits for a code, like a pin code. Oh, now like the primary DNA from humankind. I see it in the field, it's beautiful. And it aligns with the code in the grid, the codes in the grid. And now we just wait a bit to see if it fits. And something in me says, of course it will, because this has been like millions of eras of time that has brought in this prophecy. But nobody knows. because it's about our human capacity and our choices, what we'll choose. So somehow it seems like we wait here for a while, and we wait here for a while for the first movements to appear. And if they do, we will still have a lot of time where it will be shown by every single choice that humans will make the next years. If we'll bring this in, the conscious human. But I'm so touched by the support, and I'm breathless by the time span, and I'm a bit tense because I sense how important this is. And then I'm without words for how much it means to have just the slightest possibility to support this. There's a part of me, the me, that just will do everything to support this shift. And the part of you that feel the same, and the part of everybody who feels the same, is the part that agrees upon the update now. Okay, so now we aligned together with each and everybody to the mutual genetic codes that we are all carrying together. And now we are in these levels. The eyes here agrees upon the update. And you as a present human being, a representative, you can say yes. You can use your intentional power to agreeing upon the updates with your conscious awareness here. And then you will enhance the energy to reach all the levels in our reality. The updates is happening here. And with your presence, you just recognize any shift, any reaction, anything at all. It doesn't have to be something really special, just different. Anything different shows you that something is going on, and the real shift is happening in your everyday reality, where you will experience a new capacity and a kind of change where it seems like in areas of life that have been difficult, that suddenly you have the manual to how to do things, yet you didn't know before. If you will have experiences like this in your everyday life, It's a sign that this update meant something to you. And the more strange it appears, the more it can support you in relying about this update having a meaning, having an impact. To create a sigh with your intention deliberately. Support your system in following the energy that supports you here. And my attention is drawn into the energy again to see the pyramid system. It changes. So the pyramids, they are mirroring themselves. And when they're mirroring themselves, it's like the codes is turning and mirroring themselves too. Oh, this is creating the balanced field of the opening from the 7th to the 13th dimension. That is the soul capacity that enters into the human possibility. And the codes that's mirrored there, they're not glowing yet. There's no light in them. There's no darkness as well. They're not ignited. Oh, some of them ignites here. Oh, we are igniting them now. And what difference does this bring into us in our everyday life? This is a difference that creates a sense of security. That there's no need for being afraid of something that's actually something you should be afraid of. Of course, you should still be afraid of alligators and crossing a road with heavy traffic. This is about not being afraid of something that's not showing itself to be something you should be afraid of. And at the same time, it brings in curiosity. You could call it multidimensional curiosity, where you can see whenever there's something you need to put your hands on to find out what it is and how it is. And it's like you'll be a really skillful detective to finding the holes in your own reality, and then you will search for them, you will fulfill them, and then your reality will be more whole and more balanced. And then you will be a creator of the new reality, because you will begin to fill out the holes in or mute your reality by filling them out in your own. And the codes, they're supporting this really strongly. And they are like unified codes, and they are like codes that's suitable for everyone. So even though you will use them in your personal way, when you are igniting them, they will be available to everyone in their way. And this is actually the difference from the first 7 dimensions and the codes related to this, that they have to be leveled to 7th dimension, because before they can be uniform, before they can be used by everyone. But the codes that comes in with the 8, 9, 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th dimension, they are already unified, and is useful to everybody, and still make space for everybody to be completely their own way, their own master, their own blueprint. Soft, deep breathing. The update is nearly completed. And in each and every one of us, we will be connected to our true connection through the spirals and the crystal skulls. And maybe you sense it, that something is stabilizing. Maybe you're not. No matter how this reach you right here, right now, the true test is for it to change something that you are sure about in your reality. Today, tomorrow, within the next days, not longer than this. Then you have to dismiss this as something that you can see as a proof of anything. You might still have an experience of a strong energy and something that resonates with you, that gives you something, and that's good. That's perfect. But it's important to divide your reality in a way before you unite it, where you differ between what gives you something and what shows you something. And that is a huge part of the balancing in this reality that opens now. That to open to a reality that makes sense, we have to use our senses in a way where we strongly differentiate between what we know, what we believe in, and what inspires us. And that we doesn't turn this around. If we can keep this balance and use this enhancement of our consciousness that is given to us through the updates, then we will open to a capacity where we can create a new reality with peace and harmony. And what is a sign of this is if you experience the next days that you will be stronger, you will experience a kind of strength that is mild and positive and not at all aggressive. In the old era consciousness, we will put it as equal, that if you are carrying a strength, this strength is either carrying something that's aggressive, or it will be resistant against something that is aggressive. This is a new kind of strength. This is a strength that carries in capacities and non-aggressive at in any way, at any angle. So you will not find in this strength a glimpse of aggressiveness. If this strength appears and then it disappears again, you can be sure that it will appear again. Don't be afraid that you lose it. You can't. It's here and it'll grow. But at the same time, we're still here with the old era's capacities, systems, ways, the old era reality. And it's really important that we are not rebuilding a new world and tearing the old world down. It doesn't make sense, because even though we might now see that something is wrong, so something has to be better, something has to be more balanced, and for sure we have to do this, it's still important that we accept and respect what the system have brought in, civilizations, possibilities that brings in this reality, the technology that's lifting us and gather us in a new way of being together. This would not have been present here if it hadn't been for our past. So we have to update our past to bring in the future, to not recall the past is the purpose. Our system is nearly created to recall the past. Our brain, our system has such a huge experience and expectation from the past that creates the now. The balance with the updates right now gives you the possibility to release this way of being present. So instead of being in an experience where the expectations from the past create your reality, you will have an ability to create the now that creates the future with an update of the past. It takes some concentration, some focus to begin with. The mildness, the strength without the aggressives is the state that's necessary to be able to build this consciousness state. So this can be your sign. This can be what you used to level with. If it's now you open to the consciousness state and begins to create your new way of seeing things, your new way of comprehending, your new way of communication, that you open this only when you have this sense of being so strong but not aggressive at all. In some hours, some days, some years, it will be more and more easy, and it will be normal to everyone. It will be equally distributed through the system of the global mutual collective field of consciousness. But right now, it's a landing here and there and will be ignited in the people who's here to begin the ignition. And if you are here and listening to this and it makes sense to you, you will be a part of these. Slowly, we are preparing for being in the closure of this work. and it continues in a continuum. It's just, or you could say, our way of entering into this work where we do it as a choice with our intention and being present and using this to support the energy work with our recognition of the actual vibrations that is present when you're in this reality. This being kind of a motor and a motivator in these realms, we have finished this work and now we are preparing to release this being situated and activated in the work, saying thank you to everything that we work with in any way. Slowly releasing. And thank you to everybody, the one who's here live and the one who's joining in on replay. This is a wave that will go on for a long time. So this replay video will be active um, and something that can be strong to a lot of people for a long time. So if you will come by this in a week, a month, a year, and you think this is odd, this seems like so much now, then it's true. If you like this kind of work, follow me here and there. I have a YouTube channel. You can find me on Instagram, even on TikTok. I tried it out. Little bit more fun than as serious as I'm actually is, but I'm working with it. MarianneLane.com is my homepage, and you can follow me on Instagram as well. New Era Energy, Marianne Lane is where I am there. And in the next week, I will travel to Malta to do more of this energy work. And then at Malta, I will do some videos and some sound files, perhaps, and I'll share them on the different platforms for you to be able to join into this energy work if you feel like it. From here, thank you to everybody, and thank you for the meeting in the energy and everything. See you.